What's happening, people? Back with another reaction, and back with some more Morten Harket. And we're back to kick off the Christmas season with a tune called A Kind of Christmas Card, the first single from his 1995 solo album, Wild Seed. The reason I know that, when I reacted to Can't Take My Eyes Off You, which is a Frankie Valli cover, I knew that going into it. I had heard the original. A few of you mentioned that in his solo catalog, Morten has done several covers. So I was sort of, keen to make sure that I didn't speak about a tune or speculate about the lyrics without appreciating the context that it was a cover. So I did look this one up, and apparently this is not a cover. This is a tune written by Morten and a Norwegian poet. I'm only going to try to say this name once. I'm probably going to get it wrong, but it's something like Havard Rem. I'm probably saying his given name wrong, but either way, he's a Norwegian poet, apparently wrote it with Harket, and the track is produced by Christopher Neal. So, bottom line, this was the first single from the 1995 album Wild Seed. The title phrase makes me think that we're going to get some sort of seasonal well-wish or glad tidings, but not conveyed through the traditional means of a Christmas card, because if you say a kind of Christmas card, it suggests, I think, maybe not explicitly, but implicitly, that it will be an alternative form of communicating that seasonal well-wish. It will not be in your typical Hallmark fold-out greeting card, but will in fact be conveyed through other means, perhaps vocal means, perhaps musical means, perhaps, an emotional transference, but not, again, in sort of the token form that has become the standard in a lot of places. In any case, I wonder in what way that will manifest, if it will be a very sort of like rosy, sort of celebratory sort of atmosphere, or if there will be sort of an irony to it, or like a sadness to it, that it's a kind of Christmas card because it's not one that you can transmit because that connection has been severed or it doesn't exist anymore. I feel like there are other places that the track could go, given that title, but my inclination, just based on the title, is that it will be more or less sentimental in a straightforward sense. But let's find out. This is Morten Harket. The tune is A Kind of Christmas Card, and it's the first single and first track from his 1995 album, Wild Seed.
All you folks back home, I'll never tell you this. You're not supposed to know where your daughter is.
Little scratch to his voice there, I like that.
There are ways of life you never understood. It's right here, downtown Hollywood. It's afternoon at Sunset Boulevard. I got a stolen moment trying hard to write a kind of Christmas card.
Isn't what I was thinking, but I like the contrast. He's talking from LA but speaking to home, whether I don't know if that's London or Norway, but so maybe more Norway.
I guess there's really nothing much to say.
Oh, look who it is.
See, this place is as dirty as I feel myself.
Huh?
There are still embraces at the Roosevelt.
His delivery is really interesting. It's different from a lot of
In my little bedroom, mama, on my knees. That's where I'm at, Daniel's Angeles.
It's like vocal poetry, which I guess would make sense. Woo.
Rise above the shame. Tonight there is fever in my veins.
Yeah, it's like a bluesy delivery or something. A winter of pain. Lyrically, the song went to a very different place than I expected, but I love it. Must rise above the pain.
There'll be fever in my veins.
Fever in my veins.
There is fever in my veins.
When he gets like visceral and sort of, when he sings with grit, I love it. Oof. Like the crashing nature of the percussion and the drumming. Number one, I mean, there's so much going on there. Number one, his vocal delivery. It felt very different from a lot of Aha tracks in a way that I absolutely enjoyed. It was sort of like bluesy. It had a grit. It had an edge. There was a scratch or one or two parts. So I love that. Secondarily, lyrically, it was obviously very different than I was maybe thinking. It felt like sort of a lament, the idea that like I'm in this place which is maybe corrupting me, and I'm thinking of a more pure kind of home life and, you know, mother, it sounded like. And so it seemed like it was a deliberate contrast in both like physical space and time, and perhaps using the sort of winter Christmas kind of seasonal theme as the like setting for that contrast. So yeah, like, hello again. So my camera ran out of recording space, and it was like I had like a little bit more to say. So in this case, I actually wanted to come back and film a sort of add-on. What I was further going to say, beyond the bluesy kind of folksy, gritty vocal delivery that Morten was doing, it felt like parts of the lines were like almost like spoken word poetry, but like set to singing, if that makes sense. Like it was sort of sung spoken. And it was like he was outside the like normal, like rigid, like verse or like bar lines, meaning it felt like he was rhythmically outside the lines, but still within the overall rhythmic structure. So I really enjoyed his vocal delivery. And again, the sonics were fantastic. The strings that came in particular, that really sort of epic, like solitary violin, which started like right as I was already commenting on the string work that had been done. That was brilliant. By the end, the percussion was hitting harder. The drums like really sort of up the ante, if you will. So sonically, that was fantastic. Lyrically, I'm intrigued by what I did pick up on. It sounds like there was a definite, again, contrast in space and time, using the season as the sort of like the template upon which that is set. So bottom line, really cool tune. Looking forward to the solo journey. As I go through the tracks, let me just look what the next track is, so I make sure that I don't... Yeah, the next track is called Spanish Steps. That one seems to have been written by Harket as well as a couple other people. But yeah, bottom line, I am aware that there's at least a couple cover tunes coming up, so do let me know what those are, just so I don't, like I said, so like, oh, so when he wrote this, and it's like, well, he actually didn't write it. So yeah, do let me know what those are in advance. Other than that, I will see you next time, as will Luca. Cheers.